Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome to today's video. And today's video we're going to be taking a look at the False Promises. This is one of the brand new legendary weapons exclusive to Season 11, Season of the Arrivals. This thing is a high impact frame auto rifle, 360 RPM, heavy hitting, slow firing, and it is more accurate when you are stationary and aiming down sights. We got a pretty damn good roll. This was the first one that we got. Obviously the worst thing about that weapon would probably be the reload. Masterwork, then we got polygonal and arrowhead break. Magazine perks not too great. Flared magwell and ally magazine obviously could do a little bit better. We're going to go with flared. Then we've got dynamic sphere reduction and rampage. Obviously, as you guys know, dynamic sphere reduction got a little bit of a buff. It's even more effective than it used to be, and it's quite noticeable on the weapon. It is very stable and accurate, especially when, you know, not moving too much. I was having a lot of problems with this weapon actually, and one thing I decided to do and made a little change to the way I was approaching the weapon was just literally I stopped moving as much. This isn't the kind of weapon where you slide around a corner and start beaming someone. It's literally these high impact frame ARs. The less you move, the better you do with them. It's kind of funny. Obviously you can strafe when you're, you know, ADSing, but you really want to be still and ADS to get the most out of that trait description where it says this weapon is more accurate when stationary and aiming down sights. You really want to lean into that. As soon as I started doing that, I actually had a little bit more success than I was before. Obviously, the 360 RPM auto rifles are not necessarily meta right now. A 0.83 second time to kill is not bad by any means, but it's not a 0.7 time to kill like the 600 RPM auto rifles, and it doesn't shoot as quickly as those do, and it doesn't flinch as much, and it has a worse body shot time to kill. So yeah, it's not necessarily up there in the meta. Definitely not on PC. It's quite hard to get, you know, really great results with this weapon, but if you put time in, I'm sure you'll be able to do pretty well with it, especially if you lean into that sort of stationary ADS sort of sentry turret type of gameplay where, you know, you're just waiting and letting people push you, and you're definitely gonna get more out of it if you play like that. The other thing I want to talk about is the aesthetics on the weapon. I think they look really cool, sound really solid. In fact, just in a little bit here, we're going to go down to the drifter spot. I'm going to show you guys how you acquire these weapons as well. Don't always do that in these videos. I thought I'd include some helpful details for you guys if you haven't actually got stuck into the DLC quite yet. I think it's pretty decent so far. My gripes remain with PvP. Skill-based matchmaking makes it a nightmare. Trying to try out this weapon against people who are just armed to the teeth with the best guns in the game, it's not easy, but we still managed to have some decent, you know, moments with this weapon. It's not like one of those guns where you don't stand a chance at all. You can pull out some decent results, provided you lean into the weapon's strengths, which may not necessarily, you know, be yours. For me, this weapon does not lean into my strengths because it's kind of like, you know, I like to be on the move quite a lot, and this weapon is the polar opposite of being on the move. Obviously you can still play aggressive, but you really have to pick your moments and lean into that, you know, increase accuracy while standing still and aiming down sights. So like I promised, I would show you guys how to get your hands on these weapons. So you head down to the drifter's little spot. When you have an umbral engram, bring it over to this thing right here, the prismatic recaster. Go over to this engram right here, pyramid focus umbral engram. That will guarantee your umbral engram to drop any of the following weapons. These are all basically the seasonal legendaries you can see right here. We've got a pulse, 2 swords, an auto rifle, and a bow. Now the swords are actually remakes of the boltcaster and dark trinket, which is really cool. You then take your engram right here, deposit it, and basically pull it, and there you go. That's how you get your weapons. Now the customization options go even further here. You don't obviously have to guarantee your weapon. You can go for hold fast armor, or, you know, legendary seasonal weapons, or even Dredgen Gambit focus weapon drops. So there's a lot of customization. These customization features are improved further below, where you can specify specific types of weapons to drop, and yeah, you can do the same thing for the armor as well. So there's a lot of customization this time around with the umbral focusing system. I think it's a really good system, and it's, you know, nice to be able to kind of customize how your drop's going to come out and sort of fight against this RNG. So, you know, props to Bungie for that. Really solid system, and if you didn't know how to get this stuff, well, there you go. Really simple, do the main quest and you'll be able to figure it out. And yeah, honestly, this is really cool. I think it's kind of sort of going back to what we've kind of asked for, in the sense that Menagerie, for example, allowed you to really specify what you were going to get, and this is quite similar to that, which is really cool. I think obviously it kind of eliminates the RNG, And you know, the longer we go through the season, the more specific you'll be able to get with your choices, which I think is really good. You know, really good design. Definitely better than just, you know, pure RNG chases, which are really not that fulfilling at the moment. So, you know, props to Bungie for that system. It looks pretty good overall. Like I was saying before, you know, I think this season there's a lot of, you know, positive feedback coming from the dungeon as well. I haven't actually tried the dungeon myself, but a lot of people are saying a lot of good things about that, so I'm definitely going to give that a go at some point, see what the loot is saying in there. But yeah, PvP, skill-based matchmaking is still a major gripe for me. 6v6 is just, I'm telling you guys, if you haven't played quick play on PC with skill-based matchmaking in effect, it's just insanely sweaty, guys. I'm telling you, it's just, people are trying harder in quick play than they do in trials and survival, at least in my lobbies. Like, I'm not exaggerating either. These games, like, almost every single game I played today went down to the wire, like the final point, 1 point in a game, going to time. Just insanely sweaty, man. And obviously that makes PvP, you know, doing videos like these, like, you know, live commentaries with different loadouts and that, it makes it borderline impossible, because I can't really have a fun and quirky live commentary on a weapon when I'm just getting destroyed by, like, you know, the best weapons in the game consistently, you know. Obviously I do still have my moments, as you can see in this video. You know, we're doing decent against players who are using the meta, but it's a real struggle, man. And then obviously we have trials, no anti-cheat, etc, etc, and obviously no word of that today. A lot of positivity though today. I'm feeling the good vibes. Obviously we've had 3 expansion announcements. We've got the one in September, then we've got September 21, September 22. So it's really good to know that there's a lot of content kind of, you know, lined up and ready for us. And I understand why they wouldn't necessarily be able to talk about an anti-cheat on something like a, you know, a promotional PR type of video that we had today. That being said, as a PvPer, I'm not going to bullshit you and be like, yeah, this is an amazing season. I don't really think there's going to be much for us PvP guys this season. It's just going to be a slog, really, to try and, you know, make content. Obviously in the, you know, first week or two here, we've got plenty of weapons to cover and stuff like that. So there'll be a lot of uploads coming, there's a lot of things to try out. High impact pulse rifles got buffed, hip fire accuracy got buffed, so last word, something I really want to try out and do a video on. Obviously we've got all of the other Umbral legendary weapons that have returned, including a legendary version of the Boltcaster and a legendary version of the Dark Drinker, which is really cool. One major gripe though I have with those, I actually finally managed to get the Boltcaster, or whatever it's called in this game, I'm not sure, I can't remember right now. And when you pick up heavy in PvP, you can do one Boltcaster swing and then you're out of ammo. Which is just like, that's just such an anticlimax, you know. I was looking forward to getting the weapon, then it's like, oh, you can literally do one heavy attack and then you're out of ammo. Whereas in D1, when you picked up that heavy, you could swing that thing. My memory's not perfect, but I would want to say you could swing the sword about 5 or 6 times at least, as far as my memory recalls anyway. So that's kind of disappointing, but these weapons do look cool. There's a bunch of new interesting perks, so I look forward to trying out some of these new combinations and seeing what they're like. I hope you guys are ready for a lot of YouTube content. I know I haven't been uploading as much, but especially in the first like next week or two, I think I'll definitely be uploading quite a lot, maybe like 2 a day, depending on how quickly the content dries up, but we'll see. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed seeing this auto rifle in action. We obviously have a little bit of a cameo from the Fusion too. I might do a focus video on the Fusion next, maybe. I'm also working on the catalyst for the grenade launcher, so yeah, there's plenty of stuff coming, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one anyway. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, it shows a lot of support. If you haven't subscribed yet already and you're all the way at the end here, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, show some support, man. Really would appreciate it. And yeah, that's it from me, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.